Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining us. This is Friday night, July 20th, 2018, I think, something like that. July is still right. Alright, I guess the lunar eclipse is coming on the 27th. Oh, that's right. My research is terrible. That's right. It's the day of the end of the world. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing end of the world video, but not yet. This is pre end of the world update. It's not for those that think the end of the world. Well, it's actually for those that think the end of the world is going to happen, and it won't be happening. So anyway, all right. Lunar eclipse. Let's see here. Mostly it's to be a change in vibrations. It's funny how it's in July. I do feel a shift as for spiritual upgrades and energy shifting. We can just put it this way: we're going to the direction of disclosure. Doesn't mean it's going to be occurring right away. We're human. We want everything to happen now. So yeah. I have for those that are tuning in, you might miss the beginning of this that are watching the live stream, but anyway. Announcement. Yeah, we have a radio show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's not for call-ins, it's going to be an interview. Tonight, now we have a new website. It's in the link down below. There's two links. Now it's not going to the Blog Talk one though. If you're familiar with Blog Talk, I don't have a link there anywhere. It's one of the YouTube Ivantar Blog Talk, or search or follow me on Facebook. You'll find the links to the Blog Talk. It's mostly for listening for tonight. I'm going to experiment if I have enough energy tonight. The link down below is on Speaker or Spreaker or whatever they call it. It's supposed to be able to listen to it live. I have no idea. But after this, I'm going to do another channeling if I can keep my batteries going. I think I can. It's basically the energies feel right. It's basically for a private message without me, my face in the video and all that. Just feels the vibration is going to be a lot different, and we'll see what we get. It's only going to be audio only, and I'll upload it to YouTube afterwards. So as an experiment, pretty excited. I was going to do it earlier, but I answered a couple questions today, so I wanted to get those through. I'm about 7 days behind. I'm on Sunday. So today is Friday, so I'm doing a little bit better, kind of. So we'll see how it goes, and I might do another one. I'll probably do another one of these Sunday. These channel messages. So it's kind of like this channel text, but this is going to be, I'll connect to somebody and we'll see whatever it is. I haven't done any text channelings. I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to that. I'm trying to cool. I'm trying not to add too much to my plate. I had not a fun day at work today, and I'm not sure if the rest of next week is going to be anything. It was not enjoyable. Basically, I have one of those bosses that kind of belittles you and stuff like that, and that's not fun. So it's like, it's not fun. I'm not trying to play victim, but it's just, it sucks. And speaking of other people who've had a bad day. James Gunn, if you're aware of Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not going to put a picture up, I don't want to see that. If you're familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy, apparently he was trolling a conservative on Twitter about his views, whatever it was. So that conservative, I think it's a politician, I guess. I don't pay attention, I don't care. But anyway, they went through James Gunn's old tweets and he found all this kind of like they're really dark jokes, but they were towards children and pedophilia type stuff. So he got fired from Disney today, and the reason I bring it up, I didn't look at it that closely, but there was kind of a media blackout because what he was doing is, I mean, some people have a dark sense of humor, but that was kind of, I mean, whatever. But either way, I mean, how he ever got hired to Disney to begin with, how did they not see that? I mean, it's like a huge multi-million-dollar company, so other people might lose their jobs, possibly. Who knows? But anyway, it's part of a Disney company, and he made on Twitter. Well, he had no career really. It was like 2010, 2011. He made those tweets, and so that's when he had no career, and then he got hired by Disney. But how can they not know about that stuff? But maybe they did and looked the other way. Possible. It's very bizarre. So either way, they got themselves in a little situation here, so they fired him. But it's funny, from what I've picked up on, a lot of the media, the entertainment media is not talking about it. What else are they not talking about? So yeah, a lot of things, of course. Doesn't have to be conspiracy, but like spiritual work, they're not going to get into any of that. It's too, you know, there'll be a day for that eventually. There is a movie coming out. I know I'm going into the movie stuff. I didn't want to go into that too deeply, but it's pretty gross. I don't want to go into that, but I want to put in the title anyway because I feel because it might come through a channeling or something like that, because there's a lot of mixed information. I mean, there's it's like Disney pedophilia. It's like mind control, you know, all that. I mean, that was another thing about I don't know if I made it said anything about this, but those that are, you know, they get all angry. Well, that's what this whole thing came out of. This guy was mad, this James Gunn, and so it was kind of trolling, I guess, somebody else. I guess I'm assuming that's what it was going on. And it's like you think all this anger is going to get you somewhere, and it doesn't. Well, in that situation, it was good that got brought light to that, but like all these late night talk show hosts, or most of them are crying most of the time because they don't like Trump. And it's like, isn't this a time of healing and not attacks? We have not quite figured that out yet. So just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you should go after them. A raging lunatic, even at work, like me, is like I'm just yeah, the worst situation sucks. But anyway, it's alright, I'll survive. Just yeah, it's kind of like some of the work I do there is kind of like, I would say you're kind of like, because it's technical stuff, it's kind of like you're a surgeon sometimes. You want to make sure you do it right, and it's pressure and all that, and then he comes in and gives you like 30 other things to do. It's like, really? It's like he belittles you and stuff. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, really? So it's not always intentional. It's not always like, I think it's just the way the creature was created. I thought about sending him to another universe, and I don't care what karma I get for that. Just spiritually send him somewhere else. I don't think it's gonna work, but anyway. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just a blowover. It's not a big deal, but narcissism is, some have benefits of it, some don't have the benefits of it. I don't have the benefits of it. I just feel the wounds of it. And it's on Friday too. It's like, it doesn't matter. So where was I going? All that, yeah, with rage and all that. You see in the media all the time. They're all getting all pissed off about each other, and protests do that too. I probably mentioned this here and there, but what does it really solve? Yeah, there is. I guess it does solve in some ways, but I imagine we're going to go into a new phase of. It's not really. I mean, how many really connect on a spiritual level? Nobody. Well, small percent, like what, 1% or less, or maybe more than that. But you know, it's. I want to give them more credit. It's probably more than that. But all these protests, they say it's spiritual, but it's more anger, more manipulation, and there's a way to dial that down and go about a different way. Like if you disagree, I don't know, I go into politics here and there, but I'm gonna go into it again anyway, because it's like no matter who is in office, you want the benefits for everyone, you know, positive results for everybody, no matter who it is, no matter what you think. And that does take us to the new level, but you know, due to the manipulation programming here, being angry and going about it, and you know, it's not fun. So eventually we'll come into an era of a renaissance of more peaceful connections. When that's going to be, you want to say it will happen. Will happen when it happens. It's just a heavy environment, but I believe we're going to go into that phase eventually. It's when, I don't know, just have to, a lot of us want a little bit speedier, you know, like, where's the end game? Where all this going? I don't know. I ask, I get no answers. I mean, at least, I mean, obviously it does feel like we're going into a new direction, but it's like at such a turtle pace, slow. It's like grass grows faster. I mean, might as well watch grass grow. At least that'd be more entertaining in some ways of the progression of existence. Maybe that's not the best way, but takes time. It's a lot of self-internal healing that most in our society is not doing. Like if I have a rant at work or something, I don't do it very verbally at all. I try to just kind of tone it down, or not to do it at all, but still kind of rage, hidden or suppressed rage. But still I try to heal quickly, or heal in some ways, or find something else to do, or get the mind off, like stay away from that place for 2 days at least. I have to go back. So yeah, my job is like, you never know what's going to happen when you go in on Monday. Is everything going to be okay, or are you going to get chewed out for something you don't know anything about? So it sucks. But usually it's been pretty good. But there have been times like that. Even on the weekends, you get called up and chewed out for things you have no control over, or whatever it might be. So it's like, jeez. Yeah. Been handling it this long. I can handle it for a little bit longer. So anyway, it's not the end of the world. James Gunn, yeah, media. Oh yeah, Stanley Kubrick, how you pronounce that? I don't know if I ever did anything on that in the past. Stanley Kubrick, yeah, he made Eyes Wide Shut, and he kind of disappeared before that movie was made. I think it was something like 25 minutes or something like that, according to what's out there. 25 minutes before was cut out of it, Eyes Wide Shut. It already has a lot of Illuminati energies all around it. The movie is very bizarre. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's kind of convenient how he died that quickly. It makes sense. I'm surprised they even let it out. I don't know why they even made it. Probably because Tom Cruise is involved with it. I mean, why they just didn't shelve it? I guess it's because it's been in the works for such a long time. Or, I mean, I guess they had it planned, and I don't know. I guess it's I mean, they like to put themselves out there, but I think they put out yeah. From what it felt like, from what others say, even like what's his name, Benjamin Fulford said that they showed too much, but they were, I believe, okay with putting it out there as long as they cut that certain amount. So yeah, because they like, I think the elite like to show themselves sometimes. They don't care. Of course, there's a movie called The Rothschilds, I think. I think it was the name of it. It's an old black and white movie. So, all right, for connections, we'll see where we go as for galactic connections. But I'm going to do another video tonight. This is a little bit of a scattered connection here in some ways, at least for subject matter. For those that are new to all this, let's see if this works. Avatar.com. We have private sessions throughout. This weekend is kind of open in some areas. And we also have Learn How to Channel if you're interested. You have Google Hangouts, Zoom, and channel by phone. You have the 5-minute questions here. It's about 7 days for delivery, hopefully sooner. Once again, Spirit Social also. And other channelers and heroes that we recommend. We have the Patreon. Also, for if you want to support the channel, we have the Rabbit, and I also do a video for it behind the scenes. And you have the social network. I can go into it now. I'm kind of zoned out. You have the Rabbit here if you want to check that out, or you can view Insanity here if you want. And this is the new site for the website for this is for Interstellar Radio. This is the link to Blog Talk. This is the link down below, and you can be a guest here. So working out the details of it, but we're keeping it pretty simple right now. Eventually, probably just keep it as one web page, but when you go to the about, just go to my website. I'll figure it out eventually down the line. So, I'm kind of interested about the whole thing with Spreaker. I don't know why they call it that, but the audio is supposed to have a good. It's supposed to have a good. It's supposed to sound good. It has a whole another community like Blog Talk, and when you upgrade to an account, you don't get all the ads like Blog Talk. You go to Blog Talk, you're like hit with all these ads, like Ads Central. It's like, geez, I'm not sure what's going on with Blog Talk and all that, but more power to them. Okay, Lunar Eclipse. A lot of people are going to go through upgrades during that time between now and then. Certain abilities, certain intuition abilities, areas where they, not everybody, but certain ones, that feel like they're already connected to Mother Earth. Some might go through a backlash of it, depending on what's going on. It all depends. It's all different vibrations that are going through. I don't know, I'm feeling Pluto's energies, but yeah, the planets are coming to our vibration. Pluto's vibration is not one that you would normally hear, but it is doing for healing. So basically, lunar eclipse is a transition, a shift, a weather shift, possibly. I think there was a tornado up in Iowa, if I believe, sending energy set. Hopefully, the hurricanes are going to stay in their closet this fall, but it's hard to say. I think they will. I don't think it's going to be that active every year, but I could be wrong. Anything can change between now and then. You know, sometimes you just pick up on something, and then, you know, it's the future is not that set in stone. Things change. Just like people would change their minds and do something else, like you try to connect to a relationship. Oh yeah, I see it happen, and then the person says, never mind. So nothing's ever fully for certain. Some things are, as for getting a job, but even that, but most of the time you'll find it, you'll get your way. Or in a relationship too, you might go through a dozen crappy ones and then eventually find a good one. So it's not, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, of course. James Gunn situation, let's see if there's anything from Spirit on that. Yeah, once again, forgiveness is needed. I don't think he was one that was into that, like, physically, but the jokes that he said, because he even said, I think he was telling the truth on that, but he just has a sick sense of humor. But you're working for Disney and all that, he should have deleted that stuff ages ago. But I don't think he meant any harm. He's just going through a sick sense of humor, getting some anger out of him and just frustration, whatever it might be. But once again, you're in a situation like this, forgiveness, and you know, even for those that are in the act, forgiveness, because we're going about a lot of things wrong here, and instead of putting people in jail, all of that is to make them worse than to make them better. I believe so. You're actually, sometimes people do become a lot better, but some people do become a worse criminal or more of a criminal. And so you can say the criminals are putting the criminals in jail that are called your security and all of that, and those that run the jails are usually the criminals. Big surprise there, right? You not say all cops are like that, but there's quite a few that aren't, probably. And it goes on and on. It just goes on and on. But yeah, James Gunn, that situation is just, yeah, it's bad, it's ugly, it's, I don't know, Disney, there's a lot of stuff going on with Disney. It's not very, that doesn't go into the public domain. That probably should. That happens at the parks that they don't make public, that the newspapers black out also. So yeah, it's not a good situation. Like Orlando's not a, come to think of it, yeah, it's not a, yeah, it's not a good area. So either way, so yeah, there's a lot with the media turns their head. Of course, the media did that with Monica Lewinsky, also Bill Clinton. They didn't want to talk about that, and somebody else posted the news about that. So the news is very good at blacking things out, such as spiritual development, awakenings, alien disclosure, or any type, obviously. So what else are they hiding? Harvey Weinstein, for example, hiding that. It goes on and on. It's like there's only so long they can hide this stuff. For alien disclosure, you can say like humanity's not really ready for it. It's another reason why it has not fully gone to the mainstream. It doesn't mean it won't. But there, you can say we're in the energies of preparing for that, for disclosure to occur. We're just getting it into our minds, I haven't talked much about it because I've kind of beat it to death. We're kind of giving it a break, but yeah. Alien disclosure is basically we got to go for an internal disclosure of internal healing, and that's where this month is for that. And of course, this month is a turning point. Of course, we do have the blood moons involved with transition too. So I believe it's all just energies. Is it a major event? I'm not seeing that. Not now. That's another reason I'm not getting a message. It does not mean the energies are not shifting. It does not mean there isn't a preparation. Well, we're preparing. Aliens are preparing. We're all preparing. Oh yeah, the alien briefing room. Anything on that? Just believe in yourself, trust in your abilities, trust yourself, surround yourself with light, of course. Now, I channeled the deep state a couple of times, and I got some messages when people got attacks from those. But from what I see, is like they understand the deep state. Not to say, well, I don't believe what I was connected to was negative, but whatever. But yeah, the dark wants to stay hidden, and the idea is to bring it into the light. So yeah, it's going to do it. It's going to cry and scream because it doesn't want, people don't want, or the dark does not want to be noticed at all. They want to stay hidden. And when more people open up to their abilities and aliens and everything and spiritual, that pisses off the dark more than anything. So connecting to the deep state is to shed light on a hidden agenda. Yeah, they get super pissed by that. And that's just, I got attacked by trying new things too. I actually felt a being coming at me and attacking me. That was not pleasant. I think I had that a couple of times actually. Yeah, you get paralysis and you feel like a creature is coming to you. Yeah. Yeah, then they're not too, so those things I don't try to remember too much, but yeah, it's not pleasant. Actual, a physical, a spiritual creature, like something you'd see in a movie. But I just felt the energy, I didn't actually see it. Yeah, it's happened to me a couple of times. And yeah, I remember that happened to me. I was going to Orlando. It's like I could not sleep after that. It's just because I'm in a transition of bringing darkness into light. And yeah, it's not easy being in this spot. Of course, you're seeing, a lot of people don't believe in all this, but this stuff is real. It's intertwined in our society. The old way of doing things is not working out too good. Violence is still heavy. War is, it's getting better. So society in general at home has to, you're given, everything's very slow. But the slowness, I know it's a pain. It's like, where is the movement here? There's none. But I believe a lot of it has to do with internal healing. It's like they're letting us they're giving us this long time of nothingness. Well, there is stuff going on. It's just not very eventful life-wise. Not really. Whatever's going on, or whatever. Either way, you can always make up your own. But in general, there's no big events going on. Not really. Everything's kind of same old. And that's for internal healing, internal. So some have already had enough of that. It's like, okay, I'm ready for something new. Yeah, just keep on waiting. Yeah. So, yeah, it's finding something to make yourself busy. I don't know what else to do with that. Just not much in the movie world as there used to be. It's not like the old days, but it's something. I guess if Mr. Rogers is out, you can watch that. Make you cry. Everybody in the theater be crying. I thought about seeing that maybe this weekend, maybe just so I can go there and cry and feel better. Yeah, we're going into a like a spiritual cleansing, you can say. So yeah, it feels like, okay, we're in the 20th of July. No real events happened, just with Trump going to see Putin. Now we got twisted around, all that kind of nonsense. But once again, yeah, you feel all that anger going back and forth. And that's how these war deep state beings operate. You can also say some of these deep state beings, yeah, are energy beings of a low vibration, some of a high vibration. But some of the low vibration beings, well, I got a visual of, I should never have connected that before. You see a physical being and then they turn into energy and go and do something. And there's beings like of the light and the dark that do that. You know, yeah, you get an outsider's point of view of how they're operating humanity. It's just, it's like they look at us like I want to say like commander in chief in some ways. They look at us as children because in some ways because you know they see us and they're just so easy to pull in one direction or that direction. But how many actually look at the beings that are controlling the crowds, like that are hidden? It's like, you ever feel like somebody's looking at you? You ever say, did I just see something? You know, you did, most likely. So yeah, all of that is because there's many beings, not always, but there's always somebody watching from somewhere. So if you feel this, or of course when you go to sleep, that's fun, right? I tried to think about that. I got over that. I think I forgot what movie I saw. Paranormal Activity. That was hard to sleep after that. That was more the dark energy of that. So that took a while to heal that, but yeah. But you don't have to look at it from a negative point of view. But there is always somebody watching us. Of course, you have angels, guides too. And how many connect to that? Not many. So when you open up to your guides and your angels, you do feel less connected to, you know, the herd mentality, media, whatever it might be. And you just feel more, I would say, maybe alone, but not always in a bad way. But sometimes you know too much, and it makes you so disconnected from reality. It makes it very difficult, as many are already going through. But yeah, let's see, for alien disclosure vibrations, well, it feels like we're in the beginning stages of it, of some kind of let's see, I picked up what, September. Yeah, there's some kind of that. Might be just energies once again, it's hard to say. But yeah, it's like I don't want to use this term, but it's like the red carpet has been laid out. But no, I don't want to use a red carpet. But anyway, it's whatever you want to call it. It's the introduction. Either way, we're on our. It feels like we've already been on this route, but more of us are going to start to connect to it more. Let's put it that way. Well, like maybe less than 1%, maybe. Maybe more, depends. It all depends. How much you want to know, how you want to see. Yeah, these beings are just going to appear out of nowhere when you're really ready for it. Doesn't mean that you need, you know, if you already feel their vibrations, they don't, from what I feel a lot, at least the aliens don't want to interfere with us too much. They want us to live our lives and us to figure out, kind of break out of the matrix on our own, you could say. Let's see here. What other energies are involved with this? I'm being told to talk about Stanley Kubrick. Yeah, he is fine. He's kind of pissed off still, even after all this time of how he's been treated. There's a lot of Illuminati manipulations. He did see the upper echelon of the manipulations that was going on, and from what I feel, they actually agreed for, yeah, obviously they agreed for this movie to be made. So he mingled with these people, obviously, the higher elites, obviously, but he went a little step further than they expected. And how they did not know, they weren't paying attention, obviously, or others are aware, or whatever it might have been. But now I've been watching there's been videos about, he started smoking at the end. Stanley Kubrick started smoking He was like, I forgot how old he was. He was old, and he did a premiere of it to a small audience. He started smoking during that time, and after that, he died after the premiere with a little, not many people. So with the smoking, I felt he was very nervous. He got spooked out. It's like he know, like in his heart, he was doing the right thing, and it might have went into child's pedophilia stuff, possibly in there, possibly. I don't know where it was gonna go, but it was going into some really dark stuff, but needed to be seen. Now this is old Hollywood too, and that's what Hollywood used to be. Going into that edgy shit. Clockwork Orange did that. Of course, I don't know. Clockwork Orange got kind of boring after a while. It's kind of, I mean, at least for me it did. Yeah, I went to Mind Control, but then it kind of like, I don't know, it kind of psychedelic stuff. 2001 was interesting, at least at the end it was. But feels like Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, I had a lot of, it was going to that raw. It went to raw. Yeah. Situation that obvious or situations that it didn't want public. So yeah, so I believe he was aware that either they're going to do something to him, and obviously they did. So I feel anger from him still. If others can channel him and feel he's all fine and great, I don't know. I'm not seeing that. I think he's kind of pissed off that his vision did not get to be put out there, and that he was betrayed by those that used to be his friends. Tom Cruise, well, he wasn't involved with that, but Cruise is kind of a phony, as it obviously, right? It's like, jeez, he's so fucked up. Jeez. Yeah, Tom Cruise and Scientology. Well, I feel that they have so much on him. I might be wrong by this. They have so much on him, he can't get out of there now. Scientology. I think he wants to get out of it, kind of sick of it. But they have so much dirt on him now, whatever it is. I think they got something on him. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to deal with it, from what I could feel. So it's like, might as well just work, and he really screwed himself over from what it feels. Now during Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise, I think, got out of Scientology because it's, I guess, from what I heard on YouTube, of course, I don't know. Which makes a lot of sense. He heard about the Xenu stuff and all what they believed in, and it's like, this isn't for me. And then when he went back into it, I think it was around Mission Impossible 2, he started looking kind of weird. So, yeah, it's been weird ever since. So, either way. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we'll do a connection. We'll connect to a, how about an angel for enlightenment instead of all this insanity from all complications. And then after this, I'm going to try to do a audio. Yeah, this is going to be different. Audio is going to be totally different than this, so alright, kind of an idea is going to come through. We'll see. Alright, much more blessings. So here we go. Greetings, I am Gabriel. Energies to you all. Transformation, yes. Patience needed, yes. Love for the family. Understanding of family. How you found this family. As many of you incarnate families that you're exact opposite of. You're there to heal those families. Those people. But they are also to give you more clarity of their point of view. How they got there. You'd be surprised how many on your world are actually very connected to insectoids. Those that have many children are very connected to insectoid energies. As having children is like having a conversation. It's not a big deal. Do it all the time. So big families are very connected to this insectoid races, basically to keep genetics going. Yes, it all comes down to genetics, not always knowledge. Well, knowledge is in genetics. but the genetics of you. You want to multiply yourself, basically. But have this other, in some ways, a version of you in some ways. It's another soul, usually. But it's kind of like another, a template of you is there. If they wish to learn from and bring it into your environment. As many souls are going through a soul transformation, more of this will be seen, understood, as why these children are coming in. Another extension of you, meaning that some of them are very similar to you in some ways, and some are exactly opposite. Those are the ones that are exact opposite, are not always, but in some cases, are those that are, you had an opening, and here they are. Basically, you just left it open for any child, any being to come through. You weren't really in specifics. And so you get one that's exactly opposite of you. It's not always the case, but there are cases where that exists. Now, those of you that are connected to like your mini-me, another version of you, as yes, the mini-me, that is definitely a contract. They're an extension of you, but yes, they have a different point of view. They go by the looks, even the mannerisms, but they're giving it their own, because they're still, not always, but a lot of ways, are newer souls that have not been to this world very often. So if they copy the parents, it helps them on the blueprint of their existence here. Because, you know, this Earth situation, I've never been to a planet like this before. So if I look like my parents, it'll help me. Maybe everybody thinks I'm them. So I'll be treated a little bit better. I don't know how to be treated. I don't know what I'm doing here, basically. And this is also for beings that have no human incarnations or haven't had one in a long time. Some are reptilian, some are insectoid, on and on, to give you a different. Some are angelic. A lot of angelic beings don't really have a body. I mean, we might look human to you, but many of us do not take that human form. To give you another perspective. Now, this isn't all cases that are like this, but many that have a child that is very similar to you, almost another version of you, most likely they have not been here a very, very long time. They trust your vibrations. They want to imitate you in every shape or form. It's like you're holding their hand in some ways. Is you basically, you know, you're giving them your blessing also. For you to have a child to look very similar to you, almost identical, is you are trusting that person to take that, to make you look good. But that's not always the case. But usually, is yes, this mini version of yourself is going to take your family legacy to the next level, and looking like you is part of it. It's another clone of you. In some ways, you can look at it that way if you wish. One moment. Your Stanley Kubrick, yes, is going through a lot of healing still, yes, as he is not just of rage, but creative rage, because he wanted to create more. He was not done yet. So you might feel that that fire is still there, because he loves this world, because he got to do what he wanted to do. It's not every artist can connect to a world as he did, to invent as he invented. Basically, what he saw in his mind was done. What we saw on the page was done on film. Almost exactly. Almost exactly. Not everyone feels that. Others feel like they can create better on other world environments, where exactly what they're visualizing can be made. It's still not there yet on your world. For many of you that have a great imagination, and still this world has many limitations, as many do feel. They have explosions and this ship and that, and on and on and on. Yes, there are other worlds that can tune to those vibrations. What is happening on your world as for Earth Awakening? Basically, it is up to you. Where do you want your world? As many of you are, yes, speeding up your energies to astral travel, which is fine, but which you enhance your ability so you can leave the world, as many we do feel are trying to. To bring your alien friends into this planet, yes, we feel just to continue those friendships or family ships. That world does not work on your planet that well. It will eventually. But your connection with your alien friends will increase. Most likely, some of you will feel like you're on a ship with those beings as you travel the world, the universe with them. As yes, your space frontier is already around the corner. With humans wanting to go out in space for leisure, for entertainment, it's showing your alien friends are not too far away, because that's what they do on their worlds. So you're getting a glimpse of it. Yes, you're moving towards that direction, but also realize the levels of your education is increasing, not just on the technical side, but of the spiritual side. Much of your education will go into, yes, space science. So your economy is like, your robots can't do everything. So your new professions will be more rocket professions, and most of that will increase. But once again, a spiritual understanding will come through eventually through the generations, and many of you are paving the way. Many of you are speeding things up for your future generations. Some of you feel like you don't have enough time. You need to put out your information now, because you're not going to be here forever. So you want to lay your footprint here for others to learn. Maybe now your human will not understand, but in your future they say, "Ah, they've been telling us this for hundreds of years and we finally got it." So even when your aliens do touch down on your planet, there's still much to learn, as you are aware. Many of you, yes, will get more of that alien connection, but most of your humanity will still be in the dark because they're not ready for it. They have that question mark on top of their heads. What is this? What are you talking about? Because none of this is real. The reason that is because, yes, the third dimensional environment is, yes, ingrained into most humans, and they're not about to let that out yet. But those that are, you're lighting the fire, and the fire, yes, consumes you also. It consumes you so much that the high vibrations third dimension becomes almost unbearable, because you know there's a better world out there. This world has potential of betterness, but yet it still goes back to the sandbox and goes nowhere, as some of you feel. It is not progressing. It's, as many of you see progress in yourselves. This new earth is here. It's just you are still taking off the wrapping paper. Patience is much needed, but to find the newer earth is to find it within. Blessings to you all. Oh yes, this lunar eclipse, yes. Yes, it's a new awakening, new energies of, yes, your sun, actually. Your sun's going through a transformation, as you. So, where these humans are, some do burn the candle at both ends, because they feel like there's no progress being made. There is progress, but some of you wish for more progress. And the idea is patience with that progress. Patience. Because when you slow down and calm down, you will see much of the world as truly changed, at least vibrationally. Some have difficulties connecting to that, of course, because they want more, but that's okay. Blessings to you. I'm Gabriel. Take care to all of you. Take care of each other. The mind is the most important. Heal the mind. Yes, let the mind rest of stress. Blessings to you all. Alright. Blessings. Alright, should be online again, maybe in a half hour or so. I'm not sure how this is gonna work. Okay, much love. Take care.